Hello. Welcome to 10 Minutes with Todd at Beyond 615. So much of Christian music is either written, recorded, produced, or mixed in the 615, which is Nashville, Tennessee's area code. And so I just want to celebrate someone in the Christian music industry, in the Christian music space, in the beginning of that process or at the end of that process, which is Christian radio. Well, this is episode number 11. We got 10 minutes to do it. And today's guest is Life 100.3 in Ontario, Canada, ministry relations and co-host of the Get Up and Go show, Mr. Steve Bradley. Steve's joining right now.
Good afternoon, Todd. Thanks for having me.
Are you still wearing your parka up there in Canada?
No, it's like we're at 30 degrees today, so I guess that would be in the 90s for you guys. It's beautiful. It's muggy today. It's hot and just in time too, because we've been in lockdown since April here in Ontario where I am. So to get the sunshine the last week and a half, beautiful weather, it is a gift from the Lord. Let me tell you, it breaks those cloudy days and cold days. This beautiful weather right now is just a godsend. It's been a long winter. So
I bet.
Yeah.
All right, man, I'm going to set my timer, okay?
All right, let's go.
Set a timer for 10 minutes.
All right, what are we talking about?
10 minutes and counting.
10 minutes and counting. All right, I'm gonna say a phrase or ask you a question, and I would love for you to react. Okay.
Okay.
You kind of answered this already, but I feel like since it was such a creative, witty question, I'll ask it again and let you go into more detail.
Okay.
So, how's life in Canada? Gone anywhere in a while?
No, you asked me earlier what day works for you. Any day works for me because we can't do nothing. We're in a stay-at-home order here in Canada. I think it's being lifted today. I think as we speak, we're getting announcement about those orders changing. So definitely,
well, if you need to go and watch that, let me know. I mean, we can do 2 minutes with Todd.
We can get the highlights. They'll probably tell us we can't go anywhere till Saturday.
Yeah. You and I are Instagram friends. We've had some correspondence over the years, but we really don't know each other. I'm curious about your journey to radio.
Yeah. Okay. 11 years as a youth pastor. I served in 4 wonderful churches. And in that time, I've always believed in Christian music. I had bands in all the time for my youth group. And then at my last church in Ajax, Ontario, it's just a little bit close to Toronto. I brought a band in from Barrie, Ontario, and the manager of that band was Scott Jackson, who was also the general manager of Life 100.3. And we just connected. We connected that night. We brought the band in. They were a lot of fun, good to be with. They connected with our students. And so we had a natural connection, Scott and I, and we just kept on texting back and forth throughout a year. And then his morning show guy quit, and he was texting me saying, "Hey, do you know anyone?" And I knew I was coming to the end of my youth ministry days. It was really hard to know that I was coming to the end of it. I thought I was going to be able to go into a lead pastor role, but no doors were opening. They were all closing. And when Scott texted me, I was like, hook a brother up is exactly what I said to him. And he said, "Are you serious?" And I said, "Yeah, I'm serious." I said, "I have 0 radio experience." And he said, "You know what? If this works out, I can work with you. I can train you." And no radio experience. I think I did 1 week of VTing to do a bit of training. And then I was on the morning show. My co-host, Todd Gale, the poor guy, he had to teach me on the fly and teach me on the go. And so just remaining teachable, making sure you stay humble and listening. I've done well over the 4 years. I still got lots to learn, but it's been an incredible journey to, I love music. I love Christian music. It has been incredible to watch the reach that Christian radio has. I had no idea. We could go 2 hours north of here. Our signal still reaches Owen Sound, and we will meet people that will say, you know, that time that you guys talked about, thank you. That really touched me. And that, I still can't get over that moment where you see the effectiveness of radio and the impact that it can have. And our reach it's an incredible reach across where I am in central Ontario. And so that's been a beautiful journey, just to be able to be a part of this, to learn this. You know, as a youth pastor, there's no more in closing and then talk for 5 minutes. Like, buddy, get it out in 15 seconds. You've got to learn to cross those words out and nail it. And so it's been a fun exercise, and they've been gracious. They've been excellent teachers, and really stretched what I thought I was capable of doing. So it's been fun. And my other half of the job, Todd, it's called ministry relations. And I think this is what made it such a good fit, is because I get to go to the churches, and we probably preach in about 42, 45 churches a year on Sunday mornings. And I get to do most of them. And so as I wanted to be a lead pastor preaching on Sundays, here I am getting to still connect with pastors through the radio station, and then be able to go represent the radio station in these churches as much as I want. And here's the really cool part. I've got to preach in every single denomination there is. And I absolutely love that. As somebody who loves to learn about communication styles, going into a church, sitting at the back and seeing, okay, what do they need from me right now? Because I may do the same sermon a few times, but I got to tweak it so it sounds a little bit different, so it connects with this crowd. And that has been really awesome. Like, I have loved that part of the job. So it was a really natural fit, and really grateful that God just thought about giving me something fun. I think it was my 4-year anniversary a couple weeks ago, and I just said, Lord, I asked for something fun. Thank you. You gave it to me. And so if you're looking for something fun, don't be afraid to pray and ask God for it, because he's a God of good gifts.
Amazing. I've been meeting with a new friend of mine, and I asked him about his heart's desire and how he's pursuing that. And he said something that matches what you said. He said, if I came up with the end result, I think it would be too small. And so I've got to let God have that desire. And I got to follow him, because I'm not going to dream big enough. And so here you are with this desire of your heart to preach, yet you land in a radio station and you get to preach at every church in the area.
Yeah.
Wow. And by
Massive.
the way, I don't know if you noticed this, you said a boot and
no.
oat. You said a boot and oot. You did. So this Todd Gale character,
yes,
you guys make a pretty good morning show, and you know your roles, and I feel like you've become really good friends after kind of being forced together.
He was forced on. He had to take me. But he obviously had to agree on it at some point. It has been. It has been a really neat journey to, because we're in different age brackets. I got 4 kids. I got young kids. His kids are all out of the nest. And so he's free. When he leaves work, he's free. He's hanging out with his wife. He's having a lot of fun. And I'm coming home and doing homework and all the rest of the stuff. So we really do complement each other on air in the areas, the different age brackets that we can cover, and the different topics we can cover. Because even, like, Todd, how did you handle this? How did you go through this? And even, in my 40s, I can still ask somebody who's a little bit older on air how he dealt with things, and he can feed back, give that wisdom back. And so it really is a nice tandem. And the Mike Poirier, who does our newscast, he's a little bit younger than me. And so he's got really young kids. So we really have all age graphics covered on our morning show. And it has been really fun to learn your role in radio, and be able to, once you figure out that role and you can get really good at it and you can feed off each other. Because Todd and I, because of the lockdown here in Canada, and I don't know what it's like there, Todd, but we're not even allowed in the same room. And so I'm in the VT booth Todd is in the studio. Mike Poirier is in another booth. And so all three of us are conversing. There's no camera. We tried to use our phones so that we could see each other, but there was a bit of delay and our phones were overheating. And so all of it's just on the air now. You can't rely on somebody's body language, which is a major part of communication and being able to see and respond. And we don't have that anymore. And so I feel during this pandemic, we've gotten a lot better, and we've gotten really good because we've been forced to adapt and just make it work. You know, we had to make it work. We want to present Jesus. We want to encourage people. We have seen more people get attached to our radio station during this time just because of needing hope and needing Jesus, and they're looking for something. And so you got to be on your A game. You got to be giving your best every single day. And as hard as it has been being stuck in this 2x2 room that I'm in for 3.5 hours, it's like, no, we're doing this for Jesus. You figure it out, and I really feel like we've gotten good at it, Todd. And it's been a lot of work, and you got to listen. You gotta listen. And so that's been a lot of fun. It's been a lot of fun.
Challenging. I'm glad you guys were up for the challenge. That's amazing.
Yeah.
You may not know that I worked at 95.5 The Fish in Cleveland for a year, several years ago. And when I realized the coverage map, that more than half of the signal went into Lake Erie, if that just could move down a little bit, a lot of Northern Ohio could have been covered. So I looked at your coverage map of 100.3. Timer's going off, so we'll end with this.
Okay.
And you are so close. You're just north of Toronto.
Yeah.
You're so close to getting in Toronto, but you're not there yet. I mean, is that frustrating, or you just you grow where you're planted?
You grow where you're planted, but I know they've had dreams. They've wanted to be in Toronto. Because Toronto, I think, is the biggest city in North America that doesn't have a Christian radio station. And so
Don't say that. Caleb will come.
No! if the Lord opens up the door for Caleb,
I'm kidding.
So be it.
They know that, by the way.
Yeah.
They're not going to discover that from you or I.
No. But we definitely would love, I think we would love to be in Toronto, because there's a certain point where our commuters, we have so many commuters from Barrie that go in to Toronto. And so we want to cover that. We want to reach more people for the gospel. And so Lord willing, we're going to be there one day. We'll talk again in maybe a couple of years, and Life 100.3 will be in Toronto, and even, just preaching the gospel and encouraging people.
That's awesome. For those who are in America who really don't know about your station, what's your website?
Lifeonline.fm. Online.fm.
Awesome.
You got it.
You guys call yourself the Ontario Superstation or something like that?
Ontario Christian Superstation.
There you go.
You got it.
There you go. Dude, it was a pleasure getting to know you and hearing about your journey to radio, which I love. I think a lot more people in the podcasting and radio space will come from some other job, whether it's a barista or a youth pastor or someone who just loves people and loves to talk about Jesus. So thank you for being a shining example of that, man.
Thanks for having me. This was a ton of fun.
Yeah. Thank you for joining me. I'll see you.
We'll see you. Thanks, guys.
Bye.